But what we need to talk to Merce about now is what happened at the Emirates today.
Arsenal's emphatic 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest this afternoon should have been remembered purely for the Gunners' ruthless attacking play and commanding performance. Instead, it has become yet another reminder of how inconsistent officiating and the controversial use of VAR continue to overshadow the Premier League. For all the brilliance shown on the pitch, much of the post-match discussion was dominated by the decision to deny Arsenal what appeared to be a stonewall penalty in the first half, a call that many believe robbed Mikel Arteta's side of an even more dominant victory. The incident came in the 27th minute, at a time when Arsenal were beginning to assert complete control over the contest. Bukayo Saka, always a live wire on the right wing, picked up the ball in space, cut inside, and glided past two Nottingham Forest defenders with his trademark blend of pace and close control. As he drove into the box, Forest's left back lunged desperately, completely missing the ball but clipping Saka's ankle. The contact was clear. Saka stumbled, went to ground, and immediately appealed, as did his teammates who had a perfect view of the foul. The Emirates erupted in anticipation of the referee pointing to the spot. But to the disbelief of nearly everyone inside the stadium, the referee waved play on. Arsenal players protested furiously, while Nottingham attempted to launch a counter-attack. Moments later, VAR announced a review of the incident, but after only a brief check, the officials upheld the on-field decision, declaring no penalty. The game resumed, but the sense of injustice lingered in the air, fueling frustration among players and fans alike. Replays shown during the broadcast made the decision even harder to justify. Slow-motion footage revealed clear contact on Saka's trailing leg, with the Forest defender making no attempt to play the ball. Neutral pundits on commentary were stunned, describing it as a nailed-on penalty and a shocking miss by VAR. On social media, the reaction was instant and furious. Arsenal supporters flooded timelines with clips of the incident, demanding accountability and pointing out how decisions like this consistently seem to go against their team. This is not an isolated case. Arsenal's history with VAR has been turbulent, with several high-profile incidents in recent seasons sparking outrage. From Gabriel Martinelli's bizarre disallowed goal at Old Trafford in 2022 to a string of questionable offside calls last season, the Gunners have often found themselves on the wrong end of controversial rulings. Many fans argue that instead of bringing clarity, VAR has only deepened suspicions of bias and inconsistency. Today's decision added another chapter to that growing frustration. The broader issue lies in the inconsistency of officiating. Across the league, similar fouls have been penalized in recent weeks, with VAR intervening to correct on-field errors. Yet when it came to Arsenal, the system remained silent. Critics argue that the Premier League's use of VAR lacks uniformity, creating confusion for players, coaches, and supporters alike. Former referees have even admitted that too much discretion is left to individual officials, leading to wildly different interpretations of nearly identical situations. Despite the setback, Arsenal responded with professionalism and composure. Just minutes after the incident, Gabriel Jesus opened the scoring, finishing off a slick passing move that epitomized Arsenal's attacking fluidity. Captain Martin Ødegaard doubled the lead with a perfectly placed strike from outside the box, further cementing Arsenal's dominance. By the time Leandro Trossard added a third in the second half, the game was beyond doubt. Yet, for all their brilliance, Arsenal could easily have been 4 or 5 goals up had the penalty been awarded. Saka, who has been reliable from the spot, would likely have converted, potentially giving Arsenal an even bigger margin of victory. The psychological impact of being denied such a clear decision also cannot be underestimated. At 0-0, the game was finally poised, and awarding the penalty might have completely killed Nottingham's hopes before they even had a chance to settle. What makes the situation more frustrating is the lack of accountability. In other sports, such as rugby or American football, referees are required to explain their decisions in real time, giving fans clarity and transparency. In the Premier League, however, fans are left in the dark, forced to speculate while the officials remain silent. This opacity only breeds mistrust, especially when decisions appear as glaringly incorrect as today's calls have grown louder for the Premier League and PMAL professional game match officials limited to allow referees to publicly justify their decisions after matches. Until that happens, incidents like this will continue to erode faith in the system. Pundits in the studio after the game echoed these frustrations. Several analysts were unanimous in their assessment: Arsenal should have been awarded a penalty. One commentator described the decision as indefensible, while another pointed out that such oversights risk making a mockery of the technology. If VAR cannot correct something so obvious, then what is its purpose? Arsenal, to their credit, did not let the controversy derail their focus. The team played with intensity and cohesion, suffocating Nottingham Forest with relentless pressing and sharp attacking play. Ødegaard pulled the strings in midfield, Jesus caused constant problems for the defense, and Declan Rice anchored the midfield with authority. It was the kind of performance that reinforced Arsenal's status as genuine title contenders. Yet, the VAR incident ensured that instead of being celebrated purely for their football, the spotlight shifted to the officiating. For the supporters, the frustration is not simply about one missed call, it's about a pattern, a recurring sense that Arsenal are treated differently when it comes to officiating. Whether it's subconscious bias or sheer incompetence, the feeling of being robbed resonates strongly among the fan base. And while 3 points were secured, the injustice leaves a bitter aftertaste. In the grand scheme of the season, this may seem like a minor footnote. Arsenal won comfortably, maintained momentum, and continued their pursuit of silverware. But moments like these matter. Title races are often decided by fine margins, and a single point lost due to a poor refereeing decision can prove costly in May. Though it did not affect the result today, it serves as a stark reminder of how fragile fairness can be in the modern game. Ultimately, Arsenal's 3-0 victory will go down in the record books, but for those who witnessed it, the memory of a clear penalty being denied will linger. The Gunners did their job on the pitch, showing resilience and quality. VAR, however, once again failed in its mission to eliminate clear and obvious errors. Instead, it created yet another controversy, leaving Arsenal fans with a familiar and frustrating conclusion: they were robbed.